Resident Evil 8, The Village, was announced today in a very impactful way. However, there's a subsect of gamers that aren't so happy about today's announcement. See, gamers upset Stadia not included in Resident Evil Village announcement. This is going to be a doozy. Let's get into this one.
Stay sick cause I follow my gut. They say I was pushing my luck. I'ma push me a matte all black truck. I'm not sorry.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of the Stadia Dosage. Do me a huge favor before we get into this one. Stadia Dosage, SDO Daily, rather. It's hard for me to remember that because we can no longer brand stuff everything Stadia Dosage. Stadia Dosage is a platform, thanks to you, that is so much bigger than just one show or this show hosted by MM2K. You guys will see as we get further and further into 2021. But I digress. Do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when we are dropping these doses. Appreciate all of y'all. Straight up, y'all know the deal. Y'all know the reason. And definitely, you should know the slogan. We are not too proud to ask. All right, man, this is going to be one of those videos that, you know, might strike a nerve with a few people, but that's okay. It's a discussion that has to be had. All right, so Resident Evil 8, The Village, had, I want to say, for the most part, a very, very impressive showcasing today. Oh my gosh. I did a live reaction to it on this same channel, so if you're a member, you can definitely check it out and, you know, see my live reaction to it. It's a very lengthy video, kind of touches on a lot of stuff that I'm going to touch on right here. But it was a great showing altogether. And you're going to have to watch it there because unfortunately in this video, I can't show you any footage. Shame on you, Capcom, for putting copyright strikes on people wanting to help promote your game. You know what I'm saying? Or copyright claims, rather. I don't want to say strikes, but I got a copyright claim for that live reaction, so I'm not gonna, you know, continue to buck the wind here. I'm just gonna let that be. So go ahead, definitely join the members community if you want to see that footage in my live reaction to it. That being said, the Resident Evil Village, that launch footage, the whole presentation, I think was pretty much pitch perfect a lot of ways from Capcom. They showcased the game. The game looks beautiful. Oh my God, it looks wonderful. I'm not a big Resident Evil fan, by the way. Never really have been. But my interest was piqued with 7. And 8 definitely takes it to a whole nother level. I mean, it looks like that they took all the stuff that people loved about 7 and they kind of like just developed from that and made it even better in 8. You know what I mean? Game looks stunning, looks graphically stunning. I mean, they really put their foot into this one. So based upon that and the fact that we had a leak in 2020 about this game being paid for by Stadia, this and 7 being paid for to be ported over to Stadia, and I use the word port because I don't think Stadia's version of this game, if it does exist, is going to be one built from the ground up. We still got COVID, we still got a whole bunch of factors, and again, we got to remember Stadia just introduced developers at mass to its platform in 2019. You're not going to see games built from the ground up for Stadia from third-party developers for a long time. So you're going to see a lot of ports still in there. And don't get me wrong, those ports can be great. You know what I mean? Look at Division 2. Look at Doom Eternal and so forth. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of great ports over here in the infancy of this platform. And so when that news broke that Stadia supposedly paid $10 million to get 7 and 8 over here, people rejoiced. Now, again, that was a rumor based upon a supposed leak. I will say this though, from sources that I do know personally, and I can't name any names, you know why. Now, normally I don't talk about leaks and stuff like that. That's not what we do here on this channel. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's great that the community be informed, but it's something that I particularly don't do. But even though that's the case about our approach to leaks and stuff like that, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So what I will say is this, that because of the information that I've gotten, the leaks seem to be solid. Again, I can't validate it 100% because I don't work for Stadia and I don't work for Capcom. So always keep that in the back of your minds. But also too, people that we know within the community got DMCA strikes for reporting said leaks. So I think it's solid that this game is coming to the platform. However, today, with all this wonderful goodness about the release of this title to the world, there was no mention of Stadia. Now, on the surface, that doesn't surprise a lot of people. And I've talked to Project Storm, and if you listen to the commission that is on MM2K Videos channel, shameless plug, I will plug all my stuff here on the Stadia Dosage. Deal with it. No, I'm just joking, but check that out. It was a fantastic show, great show that we had the night prior. Episode 9, I believe it is. Yeah, episode 9. Check it out. We talked about this, and Storm's looking at it like, look, man, we know Stadia, again, has ports. COVID is going on. It's still in its infancy. People need to chillax, okay? I get that. You know, and I agree with them to that extent. I mean, the anger and the fervor that I'm seeing out here in the community, I don't want to tell people how to feel, but man, I didn't expect it. You know what I'm saying? But if you're upset, you're upset, and you get to voice your opinion or whatever. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, my issue isn't so much being angry that this game wasn't announced or feeling like I have to get this game day and date, whether I'm a Resident Evil fan or not. That's not it. The problem is the strategy. Now, if you go back in the hot tub time machine about a couple months ago, the aforementioned Project Storm, who is also a major contributor to this platform, me and him talked about an interview that John Justice did with, I think, The Escapists. And we thought that John Justice did a good job all the way around, but we had concerns with the talk about how Stadia likes to present their information ongoing. And I know a lot of entities love this approach, and I do 80% of the way, and I think Storm likes it a little bit more than that. But I still think there should be wiggle room where a certain approach should not be across the board. Now, what is that approach? That's stealth drops. I'm not the biggest fan of Stadia stealth dropping everything. There are some extra showcases, maybe some extra games and stuff like that don't define the platform but can be presented in a certain way that will benefit the platform. Stealth drop those. However, there are just pillars to what people are expecting that, regardless of how much angst you may feel about releasing the information early, whatever, you just got to do it. You have to do it. I think what John Justice talked to in that interview with The Escapists, I think the upgrade in server blades is something you can't stealth drop. You can't sit here and say, oh, next week you guys are getting better performance, or, oh, did you notice the better performance? I think you're running a dangerous game because people have to make purchasing decisions based upon this. At some point in time, even some of the more staunch Stadia supporters, they're going to want an upgrade in performance. When they start seeing 4K 60 regularly, they're going to want it from Stadia. You can't so therefore they're going to make purchasing decisions. They're going to bite the bullet. They're going to scrape up the pennies, and they're going to get the next gen consoles if they can't get it from Stadia. And if they're scraping up the pennies to do that with Stadia, that's $500 they're spending to get those next gen platforms, opposed to playing on Stadia. Also, there are certain games that are just that big, like the aforementioned Resident Evil 8, that you cannot just sit there and stealth drop and say, oh, guess what's coming next week. before it's too late, Stadia has to let the community know that this game is coming, even if you don't have a for sure date. Here's why. The showcase today by Capcom was severely aggressive. Today, not only did they talk about the game and show some seriously good stuff that got you scratching your neck like Tyrone Biggums off the Dave Chappelle show. I need it, baby. But they also released a demo today for PlayStation 5, kind of on the vein of a PT. So that's got people's juices flowing. And lastly, they announced the pre-order dates that, go active. No, I'm sorry. They announced pre-orders are active immediately, and they announced a launch date of May 7th. This was very aggressive in its approach today. So if I'm a big fan of Resident Evil, which again, Resident Evil has a long lineage of fans, and it has some renowned fans because of what they've done with Resident Evil 7 and the remakes that have been very successful over the last couple of years. This is a game that could be a system seller. And see, here's a scenario that kind of scares me. And it should be something that's dwelling in the mind of Stadia. So I asked them, I beg of them to opine this thought and think twice before they're doing stealth drops across the board. I'm a Stadia gamer, and I hear this scenario from so many people, including my brother, who was so excited to play Stadia upon the launch of Cyberpunk 2077, but already after he's beat the game, after buying 3 Stadia Premier bundles, he's kind of, shying away from it because of the library. And he's seeing bigger titles elsewhere. If I'm someone that fits in that bag, and there's a lot of people that are fitting in that bag, and I like Stadia, I'd rather do my gaming on Stadia, but then I'm looking at the lineups elsewhere. And Resident Evil is a make or break game for me in a lot of ways. Oh, I gotta get that. I'm not going to go back to my PlayStation 4 or my Xbox One X to play it. Stadia has already ruined those experiences for me, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? If I'm someone who can scratch the back of my head and say, I want to see I want to see Resident Evil with a next-gen ambiance, with a nuanced ambiance. Now, Stadia can do it for me, whether they got Gen 2.0 or not. I love the fast loading, and I love the convenience of it, and I'll deal with that. But if I can't get it there, I'm not going back to Xbox One and PlayStation 4 to play it. I'm going to get a next-gen console for it. Resident Evil 8, from what I saw today, is a system seller. And I can see people who generally were happy with not paying that $500 yet, where they were held off because of Stadia, biting the bullet. I can see them saying, you know what? I'm just gonna have to do it now. You got stimulus checks flying. People getting that, they might be getting some extra Joe Biden and Kamala Harris love, some more stimulus money, or they just gotta scrape up the pennies. They gotta act fast because Resident Evil 5 is dropping right around the corner and pre-orders are now live. We know the psychological ramifications of what Capcom did today. They know what they're doing. They've been doing this for decades and decades. People are not gonna wanna wait. So I'm saying that if by mid-February, now Storm thinks they got more time, but I'm a little bit more pessimistic. I'm thinking by mid-February, if Stadia don't announce something, look, the game is coming this year, the same thing they did with Cyberpunk 2077, they run the risk of losing some headway, some significant headway that they've made with Cyberpunk. Because I'm letting you know right now, and y'all know how much I love Stadia. I'm not talking about myself, but I'm hearing from a lot of people that were excited with Cyberpunk 2077, but they're like, okay, well, what next? Now, Hitman 3 has the potential of holding some of them over, but The Hitman 3 ain't a big ticket item that Resident Evil 8 is. And why not have that 1-2 punch? Hey, look, we're not getting the day and date, but it's coming to Stadia. You know this new way that you like the game, so don't even continue to hold that $500, baby. You continue to hold it. Buy some more games on here, because what's going to happen is people may overlook Hitman on Stadia and say, you know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna get the Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. Maybe I'll get Hitman there. Something serious Stadia got to think about. So again, I get it to where people may be mad at Capcom. I don't think this is Capcom's fault. I think this is the ebb and flow of Stadia. I think the ebb and flow of Stadia is we're not getting any guarantees from anybody, so we're not going to make any announcements. It's not coming day and date. We're not going to make any announcements. Look, you paid the money. The ink is already dried. The game is coming. Say something. Because I think you got to say something before mid-February, because if you don't, with stimulus and the fantastic mind job, the mind screw job that Capcom did and making everybody's anticipation levels go up for this game, I don't think you can run that risk of stealth dropping information on this game too late, period. And that's it from your boy Mim2K. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below, because like I always say, who cares what I think? But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Let me know what you think, really. Seriously. With that said, those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, the Stadia Dosage. And with all that said, thank you all for listening to my case, my side. Let me know how you feel again. You all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.